Hello everybody, Epic Mewtwo here. Today we are back for another Dokkan news video, and today we have a brand new update. We have version 4.10.0. I don't know if that's how decimal for versions, I mean, I guess. Kind of just seems weird to have the two digits in one spot, but we have a brand new update that we're going to be taking a look at tonight. This is a smaller update, but this is one of those updates that I absolutely love because it is full of quality of life things that make the game so much more enjoyable to play. Now, we do have a Nox pulled up here because unfortunately DBZ Space is not updated with this particular update piece. And unfortunately, I can't show you all of this in action because, well, this is just a blank account essentially. It's not my main account, but we're just using it for the sake of news. Now, this was updated the other day, and I did not do a video on it, but now that it's out, I figured I would cover a little bit of it. Basically, with this first feature, when you go into the dupe system, right, if you click on a locked spot, right, and you know that you have an extra dupe, right, like the unit is flashing too that tells you, hey, there's an extra dupe, you can tap on the spot where you want to put in that extra dupe that you have, and then it literally just goes, hey, do you want to unawaken the unit? Right there, as you can see, it shows that right there. And you can just click yes, and it does it right there from there. And then after you put the dupe in, you can literally just go to the next menu, and then it pops up and says, hey, you want to reawaken them. It's so convenient. That is amazing. That is a super good quality of life change because it's so annoying finding the unit in the dupe system, looking at them, realizing, oh, we gotta unawaken them. So then you go unawaken them, and then you go back in, and then you do all the dupe system stuff. And then you finally get that done. You have to unlock all the dupes, right? And then you have to go back and reverse them and all that. It's tedious, so this is very, very nice that they actually did go ahead and add that. This is one thing that I will show you in this video. Somebody did a little bit of showcasing for us here. This is super cool. So basically, when you go to awaken a unit, as soon as you click on the unit, all of the metals are pre-selected, which is fantastic. As you can see, there's a little bit of UI changes here because obviously, right, it kind of just didn't make sense before. I didn't even really think about this, honestly, until I saw this. And I was like, oh, yeah, that doesn't really make sense. When you click on it, right, you have to click each of the metals, right, to then have the unit be awakened. But this just selects all of the metals that you have for you to just then click the awakening button right away. You don't even have to select any of the metals. I will say, I do think there's probably a reason for this being the case. I do think that the reason why is because probably back in the day when metals and stuff were a little bit harder to obtain, maybe you would have a little bit more of an incentive to put the metals in there. Just because, right? Why not? And I think they boost stats a little bit. Don't quote me on that, though. But nonetheless, right? Nowadays, I mean, you usually awaken a unit when you have the metals. So, I mean, very good quality of life change. Gotta stay hydrated, boys. This is also very cool. A couple of things to note here as we're going through. I will show you once he gets to it. So, if you notice on the Dokkan event, there's the normal information button here, right, that you click on to get information about it. But now there's an information button here where you can get the exact same pop-up. And then not only that, if you click here, there's another information button there, which is very, very handy. I believe they show that, yeah, right here. Wow, that's an awful team. But this is a very cool quality of life update that I didn't even know was a thing, to be honest. This person shows it off right here. Basically, what you can do is you can just tap on an item and then well, untap it, I suppose, or just tap it again, and then you can unselect it, because before you had to either deselect all, or I don't remember exactly how this worked, I'm gonna be honest. But another very, very, very nice quality of life change there. Lots of great stuff. Again, very simplistic things. I really, really like it, and then lots of other bug fixes too. There were a couple of other things that are really interesting that came in this update. We do have this, which, oh my gosh, bro. I've been waiting for this for so long to come. This is fantastic. Basically, on the board now, it shows if they have a rainbow star. Thank you. It doesn't even need to glow. It can just be there. It'd be cool if it glowed. But, bro, it should be there. If the unit is rainbow, it doesn't make sense for them to have the normal star, and now on the board they do. That is absolutely fantastic to see, because that's a nice little quality of life change. Again, it's something small, it's something maybe not completely necessary, but it makes the game that much better, right? And it shows that they really care. So we have that. We also do have something very, very interesting from the homie Hydros. Um, I didn't even really know about this, to be honest. I did kind of hear him talking about it, but this makes it a lot more interesting. So as you can see, right, he says, so JP Dokkan Battle, we all know how they messed up and forgot to add the level 26 and 27 potential systems to the database of the game, rendering 27 crit, additional, etc. useless in game. They've now fixed it by adding up to level 50 for potential skills. So basically, before we go to the next part, essentially what happened with this is with equipment, you could get your crit and whatnot to level 27. The game was programmed improperly so that if you did that, it reverted the number back to 0 because it was too high for the game. So obviously not good. But they fixed that because now it can go all the way up to 50. Which is kind of something for the future, but we mentioned that here. Hydro says, however, even though level 50 potential skills are in the database, it is capped at 64% from level 32 to 50, assuming they did this mainly for placeholders for future levels, as well as to make sure an instance like the level 27 issue doesn't repeat itself. So that is good to see that they are not only preparing for the future in terms of taking care of bugs and stuff like that, it's also good to see that they are, kind of hinting at some upcoming goods. This honestly could be a big change for Dokkan because events are pretty easy besides the ones that are really intended to be super hard. If those events get easier, I don't know, man. That's going to be interesting to see where they go with that. Level 50 is a lot. That's a lot. He says the max right now is 27 with equipment. With the new update, it shows they plan to add more bronze levels 3 to 5 for additional and crit and stuff like that in the future, as well as going to be higher level of 5 equips or items to raise your potential. Because right now there aren't really any, well, not really, there just aren't level 3 through 5 bronze equips, excuse me. So that could be how they do it, or they could add higher gold ones. That's what Hydros is kind of noting here. So very, very interesting stuff there. That could honestly mean a lot for how the game is going to go. We will kind of see what becomes of that. I did also want to mention, before we move on to the last thing, the banner here is live. Again, don't summon on this. Even if it's a good banner, I still wouldn't recommend it. Save your stones, because even if there isn't something that is going to be coming around the corner for a potential part 2 LR for Dokkan Day, for Goku Day, I would still say don't summon on that, because you'd rather save for whatever's coming next that'll be big. Because I think Download Celebration might be soon-ish down the line, and also Heroes I think we should be getting soon, but anyway, besides all of that, your boy, hey, it's my time to shine. This update did not have too much in terms of new asset stuff. Mainly just with JP, it was the VB event, which makes sense because obviously this was the global first, and now we have the boy on the JP version, so that is really, really cool to see. Again, if you'd like to check this stuff out, check out the link in the description as per usual. We did also have the medals here, which is very, very nice. It's always good to see some medal action, looking great. It's so weird to see these in Japanese because I was so used to seeing them in English for a while. This was something interesting though. That was something new-ish, kind of. I like this, though. Basically, what they did is they updated all of these different assets. So, like the rank up stuff, different effects on when you awaken a unit. As you can see, the zoom effect, like the double times success rate on some of the training stuff, reversing a unit, Dokkan awakening a unit. It's really interesting to look through this stuff because you can kind of see how they make this stuff. Because like, look at this, right? We have this one and then we have the other colors here. So it's not even like a moving picture, really. It's just they're moving 3 images on top of each other, and I assume changing the opacity, which is actually really funny, I'm not gonna lie. But all this stuff did get an update to coincide with the updates to not only the potential system, but also obviously the awakening tab and stuff like that. And of course, it looks like as well to me, just from the naked eye, I haven't looked back at these assets from their original asset sheets in the game, but they do look higher quality to me personally by the naked eye. So that's really cool, because they've definitely been seeming to actually been taking some of this into consideration with trying to give some of these assets an upgrade. It looks a little bit better, to be honest. Not perfect, but it definitely looks better. It definitely looks a lot cleaner to the naked eye. But anyway, besides that, the only other thing is battle backgrounds. This is really interesting that they added this. There was like 2 of the same, which was kind of interesting, but essentially these are just like this background and a bunch of them. I assume what they do with this is they have it stretch out kind of blurry in the background, and then they have it move over this white space, because obviously you're not going to be seeing this white space, right? It looks like for maybe not story mode, but just like for levels and stuff like that. Obviously, this kind of just looks like the plains area. So very, very interesting to see what will become of this. Again, I assume either this is an update to a pre-existing asset that I can't recall off the top of my head, or they're just going to be using this for an event. But I figured I would put it on there anyway, and that is actually everything for today. I know this was kind of a short update, all things considered, but it was very, very cool to see everything that the update had to offer, and lots of good quality of life stuff. Again, like I always say, I mean, that's kinda, but in this video specifically, right? Very, very awesome when they have quality of life stuff, because it just makes the game that much more fun to play. I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Epic2 out. Peace.